Hey, it's Eric with CAD Avenue. Today I'm going to be doing a double input. So I'm going to input this 2D schematic here along with the 3D counterpart. So let's get started. Go ahead and go into a new drawing. I'm going to come up here to the upper left and click this icon here and choose OK to the MechQ default file. Let's load up the piping. And from here, we can choose the straight piece of pipe here. We're using butt welded 6-inch pipe, and we have double line selected here. Choose View Draw. And we're going to choose this icon here on the upper left. Let's click this. And then any point in your drawing. So just pick a point here with the left button or a mouse. And if you've got a line like this, I call it a rubber band line, you can just click the F8 key to straighten that out. And then type in 3'9", enter, and enter again. This is going to pull up the mini dialog. And from here, we can continue our input. So we're going to choose the elbow, and then we're going to choose draw. We're going to choose this elbow here because we're going to come around to the left side of that pipe. If we chose this one, we would have to mirror the elbow. We'll choose this one. We'll click the endpoint here at the center mark. And we'll choose enter for roll. And then from here, we can just rotate it around like this. Let's just zoom down on this a little bit so you can see it better. Go ahead and choose the T. You can see here, we've got the name of the fitting here on the lower left. As you click different fittings, double check that you've got the right one selected. And then choose draw. Now in this selection, choose this one because we're going to be inputting it here on the end of that elbow. And then we'll left click. We'll choose no to roll it. And then we will just rotate it up this way. Now we're going to choose the elbow again. We'll choose draw. We want this elbow here, the one that's pointing upwards. This one is pointing downwards. So we want this one. And we'll just go ahead and click here and we'll rotate this up. Now for the straight piece coming up, we'll click this one. I'm going to choose draw. And we want to choose the riser drop option here. So we'll click this. Now for the height of that riser, we're going to use 45 or 3'9". We're going to choose draw, and then we're going to place the insert point here, and we're going to exit to the main menu. Let's just finish the right side real quick. We're going to do the elbow and choose draw. I'm going to choose this one here and put an elbow here. Press enter for roll, and then we'll rotate it like so. And then we'll put a flange. Select here and draw. We'll choose the upper flange, and then we'll go ahead and left click and rotate that in like that. Let's choose the flange again to draw the other side. We'll left click, and then we can actually press enter as well to get that last point, and then we'll just rotate it in. One last fitting here, and that's another T. We'll left click and choose yes to show the branch hidden. So let's choose Y for this. Then we've finalized this input here. Real quick, I'm using a AutoCAD-like program called AViCAD. In this video, I'm using a few tools that you'll find in AViCAD. AViCAD is a AutoCAD alternative and costs about a quarter of what AutoCAD does. For more, you can visit cadavenue.com/avicad.htm. So let's draw the 3D version of this input. Let's go into our view controls and we'll select Southwest Isometric. We'll pan up and over. Let's load up the pipe utility again. We're going to toggle on the 3D option, and then we're going to choose the T for this example to start with. We're going to choose it from the center line and pick a point here out in space. For our upstream direction, we're just going to point it this way, and then we'll rotate it out to the right. Let's choose the elbow, draw, choose it from this point. We'll snap here to the end. Upstream will be this way. And then rotate it up so it's pointing up. And then we can continue on with the straight piece. Choose draw. We can press enter for the last point. And by the way, you can do that with all the fittings. You can always press that enter to find the last point. And then go up 3'9". Enter. And there, put a T here on the end of it. Draw. We'll select it from this point. We'll select this point here, and then we can rotate it around. Make sure, again, you have your ortho turned on to get those snaps as it's snapping into the 90-degree increment there. Now we need to put an elbow on the end of this, so we'll just select this one. We'll select it from this side here, and we'll snap to the center. So we'll point it upstream, and then we'll rotate it over this way. Let me show you a little bit about snaps. So if we type in OS for object snap, you can see that I've got these three turned on here. In reality, it's probably good to have the node turned on at the same time when you're doing 3D. That allows us to left click as we see the snap, and then it uses that precise insertion point when we're putting our fitting in. So it's super important to have your snaps activated. Now, if you come up here to the pipe and fitting again, then we'll go ahead and finish this off. Left click here on that, to the center of that fitting, and make sure the ortho's turned on, and then type in the straight piece at 2'9". And then we'll turn it this way so that it puts the elbow in at the same time. We'll press enter. Now we can just erase this piece here. And let's go ahead and just put the flange on the end of that. We'll load up the fitting utility again and put on each side. So we'll put this side on. Again, we're pointing it in the upstream direction. And again, we'll put the other one on. And press enter. And that completes the 3D side. Now, if we want, we can go ahead and shade this. And that's going to give us a rendering of the 3D piece here. Now, in the final part of this video, I just wanted to show you how would you put these two drawings into paper space for plotting. Because we have two different views going on here. We don't want to plot this view along with this one at the same time. We want this view to be in plan view and this one to be in ISO. So let's go into the layout. I'm going to change the colors of this drawing just for plotting. So there's a command called layer state. And the shortcut for that is L manager for layer state manager. And what we can do is create just a snapshot of our color so we can revert back to them. Let's just call this original. And for description, we'll just type in just the MECU colors. And we'll choose OK. What we're really after is the color here. Well, we'll just go ahead and leave these all checked here. And then we'll choose save and close. So that way we can go back later and turn these on But for now, let's go ahead and just double click to activate model space and do a Control A to select everything in the drawing. That's Control A. And for color, we're going to change this down here to select color. And we're going to change this to the off-white here, 254. And for this, we can just go ahead and choose black for this one. Now go back into paper space. We can just double click out here just to deactivate paper space. And we need to create a couple of viewports. Now viewports are ways of creating more than one drawing on a sheet of paper. So we'll choose viewports from the command line here. It's going to give us some options down here, but what we want is we want to create two viewports. And we want these to be horizontal. And it's asking us for the box. So we'll put this one in here, and then one up here. That's going to give us a total of 3 viewports. So we have one originally way out here. You probably can't see it very well, but if I select it like this, you can see up here that it's a viewport. So we'll just type E, we'll erase that. And now we can just adjust these viewports. So let's just zoom down here into this drawing. And for this one, we're going to go into another view, top view. While we're in this view, let's just move this model over just a little bit away from the other one so it doesn't plot in this window. You can see it moving in the top viewport as I'm doing that. Let's just zoom down here on this area. Then double click and then just kind of reposition this in here like so. Now we can adjust the actual scale of this drawing. Down here is where we have our annotation scale list. You can choose this and come up and choose the proper scale. Now I'm just going to kind of guess what this might be for now. Let's just choose 3/8. Probably not zoomed down enough. Let's choose 1/2 inch. Now that we have these 2 drawings positioned just right, we can always take these and just stretch them over to the size that we need. We can also double click into each of them and turn off the grids needed as well. In the next video, I'm going to be showing you how to annotate and create a schedule. And there's a surprise attached to that, so be sure to stay tuned.